This is a KIRO 7 special presentation.
You see it on magazine covers all the time. Lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Improve your memory in 4 days. I'm KIRO 7 Eyewitness News anchor Angela Russell. How about turning a life around in just 5 weeks? We're about to take you inside a remarkable project that is doing just that. An 18-year-old who decided to spend her education money on housing and food for her family instead.
My mom was going to go to a shelter, but I was like, no.
And was left to wonder how she'll ever get a job. A father of 3, out of work for over a year.
I don't know what's going to happen from here.
A room full of other strangers suddenly cast together to untangle the mystery of finding a job.
I just want to let you know right now, I don't work with losers.
The confrontations.
I didn't get a good answer to that.
And the conflicts.
But if it came down to it, I really questioned who would actually be there.
Whether you are looking for work or if you have a stable job, you may see life differently after they tell you about the 5 weeks that changed their lives. It's part of our KIRO 7 Family Connection.
Just the Southern style.
Renee Ward cooked dinner for her family as she talked with me. She's out of work, and so is her fiance Tim after a back injury cost him his job.
We stretch. we probably won't eat any meat. A lot of vegetables, a lot of rice.
Money running low also meant no table, so her son Dimitri got a plate, then went to his room to sit on the floor to eat alone. It was the same for the rest of the family, scattering to their rooms to eat the night we visited in Tacoma. When Renee dreams of better times ahead, she thinks
that's one of my top priorities, to get a dining room table.
That something better explains why Renee joined up with this group of strangers for an intensive 5-week program. Think of it as a boot camp for finding a job for people who may have gone years without one.
Does everyone see where we're looking?
Every day for 5 fast-moving weeks, the Washington Women's Employment and Education Project, WWEE for short, runs these students through all kinds of training.
Okay, so everyone type their names? Awesome.
Basic computer training, how-tos on writing a winning resume, mock job interviews recorded and then played back so that students can see themselves just as would-be employers will. Even free business clothing to make the right first impression. All of it for free. And even though one of the W's in the group's name stands for women, men are accepted too. Vincent Wilkins said he thought WWEE was for women only when a cousin first told him about it.
Then when it was time for me to start for orientation, I came into the classroom and it was all women. So I thought I was in the wrong place, honestly.
So what's it like being the only guy in the group?
I didn't know if I was going to be judged because I was here, and being the only guy here, I needed to do something positive with my life, and I got kids to look after. So with that said, my pride was out the window.
As the daily classes began and the students unfolded their lives, we got glimpses of why they turned to WWEE to get their lives on track. Kelly Stokes wanted to sharpen computer skills she's afraid of losing after being jobless and even homeless for a year. Gradually, it was clear that a lack of computer skills wasn't her only fear.
I'm also competing with a really large group of qualified people who are quite a bit younger than me. I certainly don't want to say that because I don't want to point it out. Oh, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, I'm a little older than everyone else in the group.
I want you to write down your worst job, but I want you to write down exactly why it was your worst job.
The 5-week headlong rush of training included digging into the past jobs that they hated.
The employees were very vulgar, and it was very long hours.
My mind just felt like I was constantly going through mud trying to decipher what he was trying to tell me versus what I was supposed to be doing.
The further I got back, the smaller it got, and it was muddy, and there was like dead animals underneath there, and I had to clean out the whole thing by myself.
So why in the world would they want to spend time dredging up past failures?
A lot of times these things disappear when we see that job ad that says, ooh, this is paying 15, 18, 20 and up an hour. I can handle those dead animals. I can handle that awful management. I can handle the poison oak. I can handle, and it might work for a very short time, and then 3 weeks later you find yourself I'm kind of sick. I don't think I can go into work today. And that happens over and over again until pretty soon, oh gosh, guess what? I've been let go, or I'm just going to leave.
After class, 3 Drana Allen goes home to her 6-year-old daughter, Serenity.
The candy cost 7 cents.
On this night, after using some pennies to help with the homework counting lesson,
4.
3 Drana talked with us about why she turned to WWEE for more than just the training she needs to get a job.
Why don't I feel good about myself?
And you could tell that it gnawed at her that with money running low, she could no longer afford the dance classes that Serenity loved. The money fears didn't stop there.
Okay, am I going to keep this, or am I going to have this, or will I have the money to pay this bill? Will I be able to have cable? Will I be able to have gas to get here? What am I going to do? And then I have my daughter. She wants to be mini me, you know? So that's like, she's everything to me, you know? So emotional.
But when the topic switched to her experience at WWEE, 3 Drana's gloom disappeared.
The things that they teach you there are golden. It's like winning the golden wrapper at the Willy Wonka factory. It just builds you up. It lets you, that missing part that I was missing basically is fulfilled.
As we sat in on classes at WWEE, we noticed one student who seemed much younger than the rest. Ladidra Hill is 18 years old. A few weeks into the 5-week cycle of classes, she took time to tell me about her family, her memories of her mother, always working.
Like, she would get home at like 2 in the morning because she worked the night shift. She would get up, make our lunches, take us to school, and then do whatever else throughout the day. Get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, get up, go to work again.
But an ill-fated move to Louisiana and back left her family broke.
My mom was going to go to a shelter, but I was like, no. You work too hard, you're trying too hard, and then my brother is only 16. There's so many drugs and so much violence, and 16, you kind of suck everything in. So it's like, I don't want him around that, because that's going to mold who he is later on in life. And it's like, well, gee, you know. So I just went and got us a hotel and just got food and everything, and then.
So you willingly gave up your education money to help your family?
I mean, eventually I'll do it, but I mean, to me, it's like, that's family, you know? If you can help your family, you're supposed to do it. It's your family.
So we asked Ladidra to take us home with her.
Well, hey, good to see you. It smells good in here.
By this time, Ladidra, her mom, and her siblings were out of that hotel room that she had paid for with money saved for her education and into an apartment that we helped them find. And food was cooking on the stove when we walked in.
So how does it feel to be in here?
Oh yeah, it feels right. Now, you know, you just like, you have to have this to, you know, to continue to do things you need to do. So it feels good to me.
Was it hard for you to have to use her education money when you first got here?
You know what? We never even mentioned it. We never talked about it and everything. And Deidre was like, I got money. Let's use this money. And I'm like, well, Deidre, we know you got to go to school, and we know you got to use this and everything. She was like, that don't make no sense. I got money. You know, let's go ahead and get us a place right now and everything. She said, I can always probably replace the money. I was like, that came from Deidre. You know, I said, well, Dee, man, that looks like I'm living off of you and stuff. She said, let people talk and stuff. You know, this is what we got to do right now. So I was like, man, okay, but I'm gonna pay you back. You know, you can look right at her heart, you know, the type of person she is.
There are still empty shelves, but on the wall we spotted Ladidra's high school diploma, and she showed us around.
So this is my room, well, our room, and that's my mom's area, and then this is my area, and then this is my sister's area, like right here. Then she gets that part of the closet, and then my mom gets this part of the closet, and then I get this part of the closet.
So you have it all worked out.
Yep.
A closet split with her mom and her sister, and still a lot of room left over. Ladidra told us that much of her clothing came from WWEE and its wardrobe closet of business-style outfits reserved just for the students.
So you get 5 of these jackets, then you get 5 blouses, and then you get either 5 skirts or pants or mix them up, and then you get 5 pairs of shoes.
And as this family shared its struggles with us that day, we learned that Ladidra's mom graduated from the WWEE program years ago.
What did WWEE give you then?
Support, self-esteem building and good memories.
All right, I know what you're probably thinking. If mom went through WWEE herself, why didn't its lessons help her find work? Well, they eventually did. A few days later, we learned she landed a full-time job.
I just want to let you know right now, I don't work with losers.
Confronting what it takes to get and keep a job. Next on 5 Weeks That Changed My Life, part of our KIRO 7 Family Connection.
I just want to let you know right now, I don't work with losers.
A class with Wendy Simmons at WWEE, the program that's been helping people for 30 years learn how to get a job and become self-supporting. For some, Simmons is their wake-up call.
I do not work with losers. And here's why. Because can you imagine, not only my job, but the rest of the instructors as well, if every day we had to come in, teach for 5 weeks, and 5 weeks later, everyone was still the same. No successes, no one improved, no one changed. I don't know about you, I wouldn't feel so great.
We watched Wendy hit on little things that could make or break the prospects for a room full of job hunters who are struggling to support themselves and their families.
I don't want you to lose a job over toilet paper in the pantyhose, spinach in the teeth, something else. Because it only takes, as you know, this much to lose a job.
Wendy's class at Washington Women's Employment and Education hammered home what it takes to get and keep a job. Lessons that most of us could stand to learn or be reminded of. But will the students buy in?
I cannot teach you enthusiasm. I cannot teach you attitude. I can't teach you personality. That's all yours.
And Wendy targeted their fears one at a time.
Some people will say, well, I'm concerned because I'm only 18 and I haven't been out in the workforce or I haven't had a job. On the other end, I'm 72. I had a student who was 72, and now what do? Well, guess what? That 72-year-old got a job. Yeah, she did.
They'll often come in and their troubles, which are, valid.
Shelby McCullough has been with WWEE for 32 years.
I call that the big but syndrome. Whenever anybody says to me, yeah, but, Miss Shelby, I say, please don't say that. That but is the size of Wisconsin, please. We need to stop saying yes, but.
And over the decades, she became a pro at getting the attention of her students.
And also, I've got no interest in you getting a job. I have no interest in them getting a job. I let them know it. I want them to get a career. Okay? Don't talk to me about a job. Get a job to put a roof over your head, feed your kids. I'm fine with that. But let's talk about a career where you can move.
Come on in.
And about halfway through the intensive 5-week training, we sat in on the moment that just might have given students their best look at themselves. With a camera rolling, WWEE's intensive training included a mock job interview for each student.
Occasionally, we might get someone coming in that is angry. They didn't get what they wanted, they didn't get it on time, and they're mad. And you're right out there at front. How do you deal with an angry customer?
First, I would approach them with a smile. I will let them know that I will try my best to work out every detail that's going on with the situation. I said I was really nervous.
Some tried to pump themselves up on the way in.
Number 37, Feds in well gas.
before they had to face the interviewer.
Vincent, do you consider yourself more of an individual type of worker, or do you think you're better as a team player?
I would consider myself a team player.
Afterwards, some immediate feedback from instructor Bob Wellington.
By and large, that was a good interview, I thought. I'd hire you if that means anything to you. You want to toot your horn at the end of the interview. I can do this. I will do this for you. I am able to. Positive statements at the end will leave an employer with a positive impression of you.
And a week later, the videos were played back in class.
What would you change?
Some of my answers to the questions.
That was great. Very nice.
But then we watched as shy 18-year-old Ladidra took her turn.
Why should I hire you instead of one of the other folks I'll be interviewing?
Because I'll come to work to do my job the correct way.
After several minutes in the mock interview setting, she finished. And then the instructor stopped recording.
Okay, camera's off. Why don't we have a seat? Hopefully, by the time you actually interview, you'll have a little more self-confidence. You seem to be a little bit nervous. You have a great personality. Don't hesitate to use that.
And watch what we saw play out a week later as the whole class viewed Ladidra's interview.
Be more confident in yourself.
We all know you could have spoke a little louder and a little more clearer so we could understand, because I couldn't understand what you were saying some of the times.
Usually what I find with soft-spoken people is they feel that they're speaking at a regular level. I want you to say, "The fish ate a cookie." I want you to shout that, "A fish ate a cookie." You can do it. You can do it.
Fish ate a cookie. A fish ate a cookie. Yes. There's the point.
Now, when you just said that, that felt like you were shouting, correct? It sounds like I'm screaming my head off. It's actually exactly the level we need to hear you. So when you're in an interview, I know you're going to think, I don't want to yell at my interviewer. Yell at the interviewer because it will be just at the right level. Does that make sense?
We are unlocking the whole idea that they have everything inside them to be powerful. If they look at those roadblocks, look at those things they have in their life, and take them on one by one by one, and figure out a way to get over that speed bump, then they can be successful. And that's what we do.
Next on 5 Weeks That Changed My Life, Graduation Day. After 5 intensive weeks, it's the final day, graduation day, for the students who work to change their lives by enrolling with WWEE, the Washington Women's Employment and Education Program. Computer training, on-camera interviewing practice, crafting the perfect resume, and a steady dose of confidence building. Graduation speaker Shelley Perrin once sat where these students sat.
I have 5 felonies. I've been to prison, and I was a crack cocaine addict for 10 years. So it was a miracle just to escape from that, because it's hard.
Shelley turned to WWEE. From there, college.
I'm obviously a non-traditional student, which I just found out that means you're just old. I got my 2-year degree, and I graduated with high honors, and then this is the most awesome launching pad you will have. I mean, you can go anywhere from here.
Finally, time for diplomas and final thoughts from the students we followed, like soft-spoken 18-year-old Ladidra Hill, who gave up her education money to keep her mom out of a shelter.
When I first got here, I thought, okay, I just got out of high school, didn't go to college at all yet, never had a job, I look 12. We gave me a lot of confidence.
And remember Threedrana?
Good job.
Struggling to get a job to provide for her and her daughter?
Not only did she just graduate with a regular certificate, she's graduating with honors.
And there was Renee, the mother who took us home and told us about her dreams of a better life, now a graduate.
This is kind of like a master's to me. I was introduced by WWEE through a friend at church, and I was like, the WWEE program? I'm not going to no WWEE program to learn any video games.
Vincent graduated too.
Just 5 weeks, I would rather be in no other place but here.
And in the midst of all the congratulations, Vincent spotted instructor Shelby. And that's about when Tony Abernathy, the husband of one grad, performed a song he wrote that clearly hit home with the students who shared their lives with us the past 5 weeks.
Don't give up now, don't give in, don't quit trying. Don't believe those things that you've been hearing all your life. You're gonna be just fine. Don't look left, don't look right, don't you even stop to take a look behind you. Keep on rolling straight through the crossroads. Straight through the crossroads. I wanna live, I wanna shine, I wanna have something to call my own, wanna be proud of my life. I wanna live, I wanna shine.
It was a remarkable 5 weeks following students in the WWEE program as it continued its 30-year mission of helping people learn how to get and keep jobs. At the end of the day, though, it's not just about a job, but about an opportunity for someone to support themselves, and in many cases, their children who rely on them. It really is a gift for the entire family. If you're interested in supporting the program or signing up for one of the classes, we've put information on our website at KIROTV.com. WWEE holds classes in Tacoma and in Kent. We also thought you'd be interested in what happened to some of the students you've met after graduation. Vincent, Renee, and Ladidra are all planning to continue their education at various colleges. Renee has a paid internship to get her by for now. Drana, who won a top award in her WWEE class, was one of the first to get a job. It's part-time, but it's a start. Another WWEE student, Haley, got a full-time job at a local YMCA. Well, now as the students hit the job market, our thanks to the entire class and the staff at WWEE for taking us along on their 5-week journey to change their lives. I'm Angela Russell. Good night.